There we go. Hell yeah, dude. See, I just need to get past that one ship part. That one ship part is so hard. Okay, I did die past it once at the transition. At the first click of the cube, I died. But nice. That's a lot of attempts. That is a lot of attempts, I will say that. But, yeah. This is tough, but I do think this level is very good. I believe not extreme, and I can explain why in a sec. I do think this is more likely just a high-end insane demon, probably main list ideal. It's a bit hard for me to tell because I do think that the first and probably also second coin add a good amount of difficulty to the level. The click for the key in the first coin, I didn't use frame separate. I don't know for sure. I'd be shocked if it's more than 6 frames. It's a really tight window because you have to buffer the yellow orb, but if you click even like slightly too late there, like you just don't clear the spike. And I think that spike probably should have been moved down a little bit so that click was not nearly as much of a choke point as it was. It's a huge choke point. And then the other massive choke point in this level is the ship at 67, specifically the beginning of it. I think that, I mean, it's essentially just the ICDX 40 ship in 3 speed, which is like, you know, actually hard. The ICDX ship, sorry, it's not hard. 40 ship is not hard. This was hard. Like, it just took out such a massive choke point. And then afterwards, I don't think you have to hit your head on the slope to get the coin, but even still, that's a precise movement if you don't, because you can't correct due to the big yellow orb there. So if you don't get the coin, you just have to fall below. And that is a tough maneuver in itself. But if you get the coin, I mean, I think you could do it that way still, but it would be really hard. But my strategy for the coin was to hit my head on the slope and then hold off of that to get the correct height to just release, and then I would get the coin, hit the gravity portal with no other correction there. Like, that was a consistent lineup, but it was so hard to hit because of the yellow orb there. You couldn't really readjust yourself after that initial red orb ship movement. It's like sometimes you wouldn't even be in a position where you could survive there. And it's really hard. The beginning of that ship is a massive choke point, regardless of whether or not you go for the coin. But, I mean, other than that, it's really consistent. I mean, I think this level it took a while to learn, but once I knew what I was doing, like, it was very consistent and very enjoyable. I really love the gameplay in this level. I'm personally a huge fan of like all this like closed off gameplay like this. I remember Felix Ram used to do this a ton back in like early 2.1, and I loved it. I was always a big fan of that gameplay style, and you rarely ever see it nowadays, so I'm really glad that kr1t experimented with more closed off gameplay. And I think the memory aspects of this level work very well as well too. But yeah, I think that my attempts are only really that high because practicing that ship grinded attempts hard. And practicing the first coin, it grinded attempts hard. That's like where, and I would have had way less attempts from 0 if not for those parts, because it would essentially be, okay, it's really consistent up until the ship, then you have one choke point, and then you beat it. But there's a few more choke points, or the one choke point was made a bit choke pointer. But yeah, no, I still think this level is really good, and I would 100% recommend it. Would love to see more difficult levels from kr1t, because I think he did a fantastic job with this one. GG's.